All right, welcome back to Tozai Designs hexagonal jewelry box build video. I think this will be part two. So I've shown you the bit I've done with the base and this jig over here, and we'll get back to this. Actually, this is a multi-use dual router table. 1/2 inch shank, 2 inch horsepower router here, 2 1/4, and a 1 1/4 little compact router over there. This one swings a bit like this. It's a wing cutter. It actually has a stacked set of wing cutters, and they're spaced so that in between the two top and bottom cutter is 1/8 in between that. Exactly, a little less, teeny bit less. This all works together with this particular jig, the sled I've made. This is a 60-degree angle to do the tenon. It cuts out the tenon. You can see that little profile there. I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, so you can see here it's got a 60-degree angle on it, and this is the profile you end up cutting. Let's see if we can see there. It cuts the tenon, so I'm not getting a good zoom here. I have a special fence cut out here so that pretty much all the action rides on the underside of this bevel, which is caught here with the with my spacers, and it keeps the pressure. It's not even touching flat on the inside; it's just touching there. So as long as I keep an even pressure, I get a consistent tenon. And I will run a couple. Okay, so I'm going to the sled is set up to tenon the ends of the trays here. And I actually have it set up so that the tray piece only fits in one way, which makes sure I get my tenons on the correct side. There's also a spacer in here that again, the joinery is the same pretty much from the box top to the tray sides. The only difference is length and the width of the tenon. And so I've made another spacer here that goes in, and I'll simply remove this and remove this to do the sides when I'm ready to. Lock that down. I'd hopefully you get the gist of my the whole setup here. I'm going to run the rest of them on to the next one. Tenons on my tray sides. I'm going to run the tenons on the 6 sides of the top. Dust mask, earring protection, and eye protection. Let's go. Okay, you may notice I'm on the other side of the dual router table setup. Love saying that. This is the mortising side, and I really need 2 setups. I've moved the fence back and I've set my stops out further. I'm going to run the sides. I have it set up to run the long mortise on the sides here, And I'm going to do that, and then a quick little bit of setup, mainly moving these stops. I will do the 30 of the mortises for the tray sides. So here we go. All right, was maybe a little tight. Carrying protection, eye protection, router on. Check. Really good. Okay. So now that I ran all 6 of these, you'll see I'm going to have to trim the tenon here and here. I'm also going to have to do it on the trays. So we've got all of our joinery operations done with all the sides, the base pieces, sides of the mortises and the tenons, all of the tray sides, 3 extra. I had 4, 1 went missing. Before you put everything away, change all the settings, go through everything and make sure nothing's missing. Always a good idea. Next, I have to cut the shoulders on the tenons. Do that with the table saw. That will be my next setup. See you in a bit. So, I have a setup here to cut the tenon shoulders off of the tenon. This is off of the router, and then this table saw setup here will allow me to cut both of those shoulders. And I'm not exactly cutting. This was a test piece. It's been overcut here. Hasn't been overcut here. You can see that shadow line probably. That's got to be pared away, and it's got to be pared away just to meet these two, so these two faces meet across from this. And this, in this table saw setup here, this has got a 30-degree or 60-degree angle on it that I've cut a rabbet on, which creates a shelf so that each piece can sit on that shelf and safely trim that tenon. Nice registration on the fence. So I'm going to cut. I've got 30 to do, plus the tops, which is a little different jig. Same setup here. Here we go. Okay, so now I get to clean these up with a chisel. 72 tenon cheeks. A couple got overcut. So, have to deal with that when I come to glue up. But you can see what I'm doing here. I left purposely a little bit just because I didn't want to overcut. See, some of those are close. This is good. I better check soon. All right, let's cut this one. Okay, so you know what? Let's look. That one needs to be paired. Let's pair it before I get lost in the. So I've got these all arranged. I'm going to fit them together in the order that they are supposed to be in. Okay, so now to actually clamp something like this, I've made, I'll show you. So now, to actually clamp something like this, you have to make a caul. Just taping it together is not going to, it'll work, but it's not going to lead to any kind of symmetry or accurate symmetry. This should just go on there. Okay. Some clamping force. I will actually put a third one on there when I'm gluing it up in the middle. But for now, we just want to kind of take a look. I need a hammer because these should be parallel. Shouldn't clamp all the way. It's pretty much bearing just on these four, and the joiner should hold it all together. Kind of look at it, find any gross misalignments like this one right here. Good. Have the same setup. Fortunately, left over here. For the trays. Okay, so now for the trays, I have this. I probably need to remake this. This is not quite. You can see I put tape in here to kind of adjust the. I'm just going to dry fit these trays into the into my caul here, my fixture. Not sure what to call that. I'll do two. Boy. Okay, so this part one in here, one in here. Okay, and then a single clamp. Will generally suffice to yeah, that's not a good clamp for that. Sorry. And so it looks really pretty good. I'm quite thrilled with this. On to bottoms to make, and floating tenons for the base, and a lot of sanding, and then a lot of glue up, and then a lot more sanding, and then I got to do the top.